What's up BTS? It's your host Michaela, and I'm here to break down the top 10 celebrities Harry Styles refuses to work with. Before we jump into the countdown, tell me in the comments below which one of Harry Styles' relationships have been your favorite. At number 10, we have Harry's current girlfriend, Olivia Wilde's ex, Jason Sudeikis. Harry has been wishing for no hard feelings with Jason for as long as he's been trying to navigate the fairly new waters of his relationship with the actress. At this point, everybody should know that Harry does prefer to live a pretty low-key life, which is why he's been keeping his relations with Olivia on the DL. Still, he has also hinted that he absolutely does not want to flaunt their romance to taunt Jason in any way. The awaited public confirmation of the relationship has resurfaced because Harry will be hitting the big screen to star in Olivia's upcoming directorial film, Don't Worry Darling. The couple first sparked dating rumors after their attendance at Harry's agent's wedding on January 3rd in California. Since then, the two were also captured arriving at Harry's LA home with their luggage in tow. When the relationship hit the media, Olivia had freshly split with Jason, with whom she was engaged with for 7 years and birthed 2 children with during that time. Their reunion happened one day after Olivia and Harry's wedding date, when the co-parents reportedly chatted outside Jason's home. That day marked the first day that the exes were photographed together since Harry and Olivia became an item. At number 9, we have late Love Island host Carolyn Flack, who formerly dated Harry back when he was only 17 and she was 32, making her 15 years older than the star. Around the time of their publicized breakup, Harry issued a Twitter message for his fans to confirm he was single, but went on to deny their split being one-sided. In it, he wrote, "Please know I didn't dump Caroline. This was a mutual decision." Oppositely, Caroline, who hosted the backstage coverage for National Television Awards back then, was evidently silent about their split. She instead tweeted about the great night she had before complaining about her next day hangover. Their relationship broke prior to 1D heading to the US for their awaited tour. At number 8, we have another ex of Harry who just may not be a fan of him even to this day. Camille Rowe dated the singer from July 2017 to the following summer. When the French model and Harry parted ways, there were tons of speculation surrounding them about the reasons behind their breakup. Apparently, a number of songs off Harry's Fine Line album from 2019 are inspired by Camille, with some even saying that Falling is a song Harry penned for her. Due to this, fans have theorized that Harry must have cheated on the model, resulting in their split. If this rumor were true, it would make sense why Camille is deemed as one of his famous ex-girlfriends who potentially hates him the most. However, this cannot be officially taken seriously because neither of the two stars ever directly spoke about their time together. Still, Harry did once reveal to Rolling Stone that his music is normally behind the points of his love life. Quote, "It's not like I ever sat and done an interview and said, so I was in a relationship and this is what happened, because for me, music is where I let that cross over." At number 7, we have London-based blogger and chef Tess Ward. Tess gained a reputation in the food industry, but her fame skyrocketed once she was publicly linked to Harry. Tessa graduated from the University of Leeds before she enrolled at Le Cordon Bleu and received her professional chef degree. Following this, Tess published a cookbook titled The Naked Diet, where she discussed the celebration of unprocessed naked ingredients. According to a world-exclusive dish from Bazaar, Harry and Tess were introduced through mutual friends. Tess would later be photographed with Harry cruising around North London in his Audi at the time. However, as for the same source, Tess broke it off with the musician because she apparently still had feelings for her ex. At number 6, we have supermodel Kendall Jenner and her 3-month fling with Harry. A Hollywood Life exclusive covered their breakup story online, and apparently Harry was never in it for the long haul. Despite media photos confirming what looked to be great chemistry between the two over a November dinner date in 2013, and PDA-filled dates and worldwide trips being reported shortly after, the source disclosed that Harry was aware from the start that their love affairs would be brief. Considering the busy positions they were both in at the time, with Harry set to do a stadium tour with his former band that began in April and ran until early October, and Kendall with her budding modeling career, their short-lived encounter made sense. With that, apparently one of them reportedly walked away with a bit more of an empty heart though, and it definitely was not Harry. However, the musician seemed to have enjoyed the fleeting time he did share with Kendall and their swoon-worthy globe-trotting dates. The HL Insider further detailed that their future with one another was up in the air at one point in time. Due to their working commitments being the end of their romance, it can also attest to why they're cordial to this day. When Kendall hosted James Corden's show in place of the OG host a while back, she and guest star Harry played the infamous game series Spill or Fill Your Guts. During this, Kendall inquired which of Harry's songs were about her, and he chose to deny the questions and fill his mouth with cod liquids. However, fans have it all thought out that they know which songs are about the model. Either way, despite their history, they remain friends, and that is applaudable for sure. However, who knows if they'll actually ever work together. At number 5, we have Taylor Swift. Now, as messy as all her previous breakups are, this one is surely no different. In a formal April inaugural Vanity Fair issue, Taylor opened up about the details of her then recent breakup with the former 1D boy bander. Only 23 years old at the time, Taylor explained how she was not the typically clingy, insane, desperate girlfriend that a lot of her exes painted her out to be. She even heavily implied that Harry pursued her, and later claimed Harry wore her down into agreeing to finally date. It wasn't long before Taylor said she witnessed a photograph of Harry locking lips with a friend, resulting in Taylor supposedly breaking it off until Harry convinced her to get back together. According to Harry's rep at the time though, Taylor's claims about Harry's supposed wandering eyes are quote undeniably false. And despite their separation being a rocky one, Harry only gave positive remarks about Taylor's Brit Awards performance in February, deeming it a great act. Unfortunately, in an event that didn't look too good on Taylor, she was later pictured filming her 22-track music video where she was said to be imitating Harry by dressing up like him. While fans remained devastated of the pairing separation, the actual reason behind it was again never disclosed. Reportedly though, a handful of Taylor's 1989 songs from 2014 are about the musician, and she more recently admitted to Elle during an interview that she experiences bouts of anxiety as per song lyrics. At number 4, we have another former One Direction member who takes the first of 2 spots on today's countdown. Notably, ever since Zayn and Harry's group was announced for an indefinite hiatus, they've been busy dropping a range of solo projects and other works on their own. Zayn, one of the 5 previous members who left the band back in 2015, has been pretty candid about his reasons for departing with his group mates. He and Harry share the same sentiment in a way of wanting to produce music that felt more like themselves. However, this is where their similarities end, because despite the men being vocal about supporting each other's careers, a single US Weekly interview with Zayn basically threw all talks of the group's reunion as a fivesome out the window. In it, Zayn explained how aside from their band still being on cordial speaking terms, they're obviously not nearly as intimate, and he mentioned Harry directly. According to the former band member, he never actually spoke with Harry in that way, so he knew there was no hope for a long-lasting relationship outside of their group. However, not looking at Zayn's confessions, dismissing any bad blood feuds, most fans weren't really as shocked as they should have been realistically when looking at the bigger picture. Still silent back and forth jabs between Harry and Zayn's years-long ex-girlfriend Gigi Hadid that of course could be chalked up as coincidences probably helped play a part in fans' theories. At number 3, we have the second half of former band members Harry would rather not be involved with, and that's Mr. Strip That Down Liam Payne. When the latter shared information that there was a potential reunion in store for all of their once core-dominating English band, Liam made sure to vocalize that Harry didn't seem to want to be a part of it. When he discussed everyone's initial interest, it was delivered candidly on a Tuesday for Sirius XM's hit One Morning mashup. He made predictions as to why it would be difficult for a reunion between them and Harry, specifically because Liam described not speaking to Harry in a long time, so he wouldn't know where his mind is at for a reunion. Quote, "I haven't spoken with Harry in a while, so I don't know where his head's at with that. I heard he mentioned it in some sort of magazine thing or whatever the other day, which was cool, but I think everybody else has been really outspoken and I think that they're ready to go whenever." Harry himself had also briefly touched on the topic of the highly anticipated One Direction revisit during his September Rolling Stone feature, where he shared his sole focus on his career, but not being opposed to returns to the band should the timing work itself out accordingly. At number 2, we have former X Factor judge and group producer Simon Cowell. Now, Simon was on the show when Harry Styles was being formed as the next up-and-coming hottest boy band. In fact, he even bunched them together originally on the show following their X Factor UK 3rd place final ranking. But Harry says the gifts he received from Simon weren't so merry and bright. Rather, he quipped to Chris Evans during a Radio 2 interview that Simon apparently gave him an anxiety problem. At the time, Harry was promoting the release of his long-awaited solo album alongside his buddy Nick Grimshaw. Nick had grilled the Watermelon Sugar artist on the debate of whether or not Two Ghosts was about Taylor Swift amidst fan suspicions, and in response, Harry gave us a non-committal answer of, "I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Some things change and you can do all the same things, and sometimes it's just different." At number 1, we have 26-year-old Midsommar actress Florence Pugh. Florence will be hitting the big screens once more to star opposite the world's favorite pop heartthrob in his girlfriend's upcoming psychological thriller. Olivia Wilde is directing Don't Worry Darling and has cast Florence as the female lead and Harry as her partner. However, the artistry of the movie has seemingly been tainted by the attention-grabbing, racy, intimate oral scene between the two stars in the trailer for the film. When Florence discussed why this bothered her, it was with Harper's Bazaar, where she expressed her opinions on the ideas she has since received major backlash over. Fans Fans anxiously bit their nails in anticipation for Florence and Harry's obviously steamy bed scene, but the slightly younger Brit decided to address the commotion over the sexual scene she shares with Harry as per the trailer's May drop. After she got that part off her chest, Florence ventured into a more positive topic of discussion, like her love for her character. Quote, "I love playing a distressed woman. I guess all my movies have that element of women being forced into a corner, forced into an opinion, forced into a way of life." And then finally, something cracks. In regards to the film itself, she told Vogue that it is really sexy in a grown-up way, and she hopes her audience will realize how rarely they see female hunger, and specifically this type of female pleasure. Other appearances from stars like Gemma Chan, Kiki Layne, Nikki Kroll, and Chris Pine are set to hit theaters on September 23rd of this year. That concludes today's BTS. Again, I've been your host, Michaela, and I'll see you all again really soon.